Ever since humans have ascended from the primordial soup into the birth of civilization, people have not been able to name themselves whatever they please. Their name, your name, has been predefined for you before you were able to babble your first word. However, for the first time in human history, anyone, from the richest politician to the working everyman, can finally, after all these years, name themselves Pussy Destroyer 69420. That's right, we're talking about usernames. Usernames are important because they, like real names, create a sort of identity. Maybe a bit of personality thrown in. Maybe your username helps you create a memorable brand. The list goes on and on. However, a shit username can completely dismantle all of that. Not all usernames are created equal.
Now Mark, if usernames are really that important, then how might I, JFK of Dallas, Texas fame, create an original and epic username?
Well, former President Kennedy, mere moments before your skull imploded into a broth of bones and brains, stick around and I'll teach you how to get the raddest username on the block. And I promise that by the end, your mind will be completely blown. Alright, so there's several types of usernames ranging from shit to not so shit. You got it? Good. So let's just do this thing. Down here we have the absolute bottom of the barrel. This is where the absolute cesspool of usernames reside. These usernames consist of incoherent usernames, simply bad sounding usernames, or ones extremely hard to pronounce. Rural anemone. Fuck it. When creating a username, an easy spell/pronounce username makes it nicer to recognize, remember, and recall. Also, if your username is about 4+ syllables long, make sure there's an easy way to shorten it, like PewDiePie to Pewds. Easy. Next up, what am I, a 90s character? Okay, next up is the D tier. Let's just make this quick. Here we have stolen usernames, completely unoriginal. These are usernames taken from existing brands, other people's names, or, more commonly, names taken from pop culture. And yes, those actually were my shitty usernames back in the day. It goes without saying that these types of usernames are bad. Be original. There are some exceptions though. If your username deviates enough from the original brand, you can make it your own thing. So, say you're a sculptor, right? And you're crafting the face of man. You mold it into the specimen of divine proportions. First, you begin work on the shape of the head, the chiseled jawline which perfectly lines up to the temporal bone. Next, you move on to the elegant locks that flow oh so carelessly in the wind. Then the deep baby blue eyes. Then the exceptionally proportioned mouth and nose. Angels sing an immaculate chorus as they descend from the heavens to watch you perfect your craft. And once you add the finishing touches, you feel as if there is no individual. This art, your art, taught you that all life exists within a beautiful interconnected chain of love and hope. And as soon as you finish up your masterpiece, you break it, you shatter it, you disfigure it. The angels scream in horror at the sight of what you've done. You've ruined it, you monster, and you know exactly who you are. Those of you who take perfectly good username just to file it with unnecessary symbols, numbers, and letters. If you do this, I hate you, 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 Now this tier I have some pretty strong feelings about. I know, very out of the ordinary for me. Now this tier consists of usernames that are just your real name. Your real name. Like, what is wrong with you? You can name yourself literally anything. You could have named yourself Pussy Destroyer 69420, but no, you had to go with Drew Gooden. Now the reason why I think this tier isn't down in the shithole with the rest of them, although it does belong there, is because birth name usernames not only sound good, but there are some good reasons to use your name as your online pseudonym. Reason 1. If your content is very professional, or it revolves around you and only you, then it works. For example, Casey Neistat and David Neistat? For example, Casey Neistat and David Dobrik's content revolve around them exclusively, so it works. However, people like Danny Gonzalez and Drew Gooden don't work because their content revolves around them as well as whatever they're commentating over. Reason 2. If you're trying to break into a mainstream outlet like Gus Johnson with Comedy Central or Thomas Frank with his general business, then using your real name is a smart decision. Note, name/username mixes, such as JonTron or Chris Reagan, don't fall into this category. Their usernames stand separate. Now finally, we're getting into the good shit. The A tier is when you take two words that are adjective, nouns, or both, and then mash them together to create a brand new username. And I gotta say, you have to be an absolute genius to come up with a username of this caliber. An absolute savant. Big brain. People who create A-tier usernames are a shepherd, and the world is your flock. Men are yours to rule over. You are a god! Okay, being honest with you all, adjective noun usernames are nothing special. They're good, don't get me wrong, but the only reason why they're not S-tier usernames is because they're so incredibly common. Here's just a few examples. Charm School, Psychic Pebbles, Armored Skeptic, Nakey Jakey, TripleQuestionMark, Chilled Chaos, Pro Jared, Gassy Mexican, Rubber Ninja, Sleepy Cabin, Starcat, Angry Shower, Mini Lad, Swagger Souls, Rusty Cage, Wild Spartan, Daft Peanut, Legal Eagle, John the Destroyer, Vine Sauce, Donut Operator, Soot House, Game Theory, Game Grumps, Ego Raptor, Tier Zoo, Door Monster, Rooster Teeth, Comet Etiquette, Nerd City, Wrath Club, Internet Historian, Worm God, Rice Pirate, Vox Providence, Life Noggin, Soul Porpoise, Snark Take, Wisecrack, Count Dankula, Captain Disillusion, Commander Solano, Lord Bung, Mr. Beast, Uncle Dane, and much, much more. And there's a good reason why they're common. One, they're incredibly easy to make. Like I said before, just take two words that are either a noun, adjective, or both, and simply mesh them together, and boom, you got yourself a styling new username. And reason 2 is because they simply sound nice. These types of usernames kind of harken back to traditional naming standards of either a first and last name with a noun username, or similar to an old-fashioned nickname. So if you're having a hard time coming up with the username, adjective noun usernames are a great way to get started. Alright, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. We've saved the best for last. The top dog, the cream of the crop, creme de la creme. Drum roll, please! So, without further ado, the best username any man, woman, or child can come up with is... It's literally anything else. Anything that doesn't fall into the tiers F through A belong in the S tier. Yep. Not much to it. So let's recap. If you want to create a truly good username, you have to 1. Make your username easily pronounceable and nice on the ears. Keep your username 3 syllables or less, unless you can shorten it down to a nickname, like TripleQuestionMark can be shortened down to Mark. Be original. Stay away from usernames relating to pop culture, brand, or other people, unless it deviates enough. Avoid any unnecessary numbers, letters, or symbols. Unless it really plays a part in what your username is trying to convey, then just completely leave it out. Don't choose birth names, Eddie. Eddie, that fucker. Note, if you're having a hard time coming up with a username that's 100% original or falls into the S tier, it's fine to make a noun adjective type username. And, yeah, that's about it. Say, former President JFK, didn't you find this whole experience enlightening? Oh God. Oh God. Fuck. Jesus Christ. Who could have predicted this? Well, I did say his mind would be blown, didn't I? No, but a person actually died. That's not funny. That's not funny. Okay, before this video ends, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I didn't tell you guys this fun fact I discovered while researching names. Kennedy, a unisex name of Celtic and Gaelic origin, and is often a surname too, meaning deformed head. Oh my God!